Ready to roll. Look at this. Oh my goodness. You know what? I forgot to push look at that. You know what? How cool. People are here. I forgot to push it. Give me 1 second. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Just wow. I got to push it. I can't believe I did that. Live now. Okay, we're in. And by the way, joined with our special friend.
What's up, YouTube?
What is up? We're on
What's up?
Evan's special YouTube channel, by the way. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It is Monday for all who didn't know. How's your weekend, man? It's a good weekend?
My weekend was fantastic. We did a lot. I didn't do well. I have some family in town so basically there's a lot of nieces around, no nephews, a lot of nieces. Crazy time. Crazy weekend, but it was good. We did a live stream last night. I saw Jarrett say hello in your chat. Jarrett was on our stream last night.
Nice.
Good time. Yeah, I thought today maybe would go a little bit different when we got that Europe thing yesterday, the China delay or whatever, but
yeah. You know, the markets, it's been on a run. The thumbnail today, I was like, holy crap, there's a lot going on. I was pulling up this calendar. I'm like, literally 1,000 companies reporting earnings this week. I mean, literally 1,000. I don't think I've seen that. But yeah, the busiest week of earnings by far, not to mention an insane amount of macro going on. So, I mean, geez, it's going to be, I don't even know what to expect. I feel like if there was ever going to be, I feel like you would think that it would be a crazy whipsaw week, but probably it might be, but probably we end up flat, to be completely honest. So, I mean, maybe anything goes. Who knows? I'm really actually not really looking forward to it. So we'll see. We definitely have a lot to get through. I'm working on HQ2 almost. It's getting there. It's getting there. Don't have the camera set up yet. I do have the camera there, but the paneling's all set up. Fireplace is set up. Fridge is locked and loaded. It's getting pretty good. Getting pretty close. Man, we got a lot of people. Look at this. Who is Cold Nut here? Cold Nuts is not in here. I don't know. Rap's in here. Look at this. Devin's here. What's up, guys? Somebody ran into me at Costco this weekend. I was telling Evan the story, and it was hilarious. I was like, someone who's playing chicken. This guy comes up to me at Costco this weekend, and I was like, it was almost like he was playing chicken with me with the shopping cart. And he's like, yo, I know you. And I'm like, you know me? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, you're a friend of Amit's. I'm like, oh shit. That was kind of cool. Look at this. Johnny's in the house. Algobot. Look at this. Yeah, Evan, I've tried, man. I've tried. It's not happening. Heather's in the house.
Maybe one day. I got nothing to hide. I don't want to get recognized in Costco. So,
you know, who knows? He is working for sure. And Evan's in the chat. Look at this. Jacob in the house. Yeah. All right, so let's get to it. We got a lot going on. I forgot to push it earlier, so let me see. What screen? Oh, play from beginning. How's that? All right, so this is where we're at. How's this? 1,000 earnings. You know, normally when we have the biggest week of earnings, typically it's like so typically when it's all the Mag 7 reporting in the same week, then we have slightly down at the index level. This time, it's not all Mag 7 reporting the same week since we had Google and Tesla already. They reported in the same week or last week, so it's not all the same Mag 7s. So I'm not sure exactly what to expect, but quite frankly, normally in this scenario, or in a similar scenario, it's actually slightly down, but a lot of chop for sure. But here's what we're gonna do. If you're new to the program, what we do is it's lunchtime. We usually take a step back right about now. It's a headline driven week. Welcome to the Trump market. We're actually beyond the seasonal peak. Although this year is kind of giving me a lot of 2021 vibes. And the more that I think about it, Evan, you're a numbers guy, or you see a lot of data rather. And I might go back to the charts, but I keep thinking that I think 2021, and if anybody has a chart, I believe that in 2021, I feel like we peaked out in November. Is that accurate? Let me see.
Yeah, I would have to pull up the chart. I did just put out a thing today from the COVID crash. The NASDAQ 100, guess what? Is now up 250%. In what year were you saying? November?
Yeah, 2021. February. Because September is seasonally bad.
Yeah, September. You could say it was very late August.
Yes, but September 2021, it did peak. So August, we went down a little bit. And then October, we went up. And then we peaked out, though.
In 2020, by the way, August or September was pretty weak.
Yeah, so it's not. So we did have a pretty weak September 2021. Not super weak. It was a very minimal pullback. But it looks like this January 2022, this was all bad. 2022, man. If we could erase 2022, that's a bear market and a half. Holy moly. That whole year is just ooh. Oogly. This year has just been a crazy whipsaw, so who knows? All right, so this is what we have. So LEI, does anybody know what LEI is? What's this paired? Meliora? What is that? Is that your account?
Yeah. When it says paired, it's on mine.
Oh, that's on yours. That's on yours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we have multiple YouTubes for sure.
Don't disrespect paper with a 21. I'm here in my little humble days. Watch out, though.
It's all good. Technically, we have 727 right now. We could get a little bit more for sure. Mostly on the X on Twitter for sure, but it's all good. These guys keep asking for Cold Nuts. Cold Nuts is in Discord. I don't even know that he has YouTube or Twitter. What's up, Chris? In the house. Bullish Costco for sure. I keep going to Costco. I mean, this Asian dad thing, Costco. I'm there I feel like twice a week, dude. Anyways, so LEI, if you don't know LEI, that's the leading economic index. I don't even know why this year I put it. It's just one of those economic indicators. It comes out, I think once a month. This thing has been negative all the time. It's supposed to tell you when things are going to turn. It's been the misleading. We call it the misleading index. It's hilarious, but 7-month negative. It's supposed to give you kind of a warning sign. This has been absolutely horrific indicator, but it is what it is. Tuesday. So here was kind of interesting. Gold has been on this run. Tuesday, gold hits a 5-week high. And this is mostly due to trade tensions mounting, right? And then what happens? Stocks gain after U.S. trade deals with Japan. If you don't know, Japan stock market, this thing is wild. I was looking at Toyota, ticker is TM. This thing is crazy. This goes from 175 or something to 200 overnight, or 169 to boom, 190 overnight on Japan trade deals. So we're getting trade deals and they're happening. The trade deal with Japan was a 15 tariff on Japanese exports, down from a 25% threat, right? So that once these trade deals start coming in, then all of a sudden gold gets this big pullback, and this is what was happening. Then we get this trade deal with the EU. That's a 15 tariff on the exports, down from a 30% threat, and that's, again, gold starts taking another hit. So I haven't seen GLD today, down again today. So as the trade deals come in, although these precious metals and things, we'll start taking a look. I think they're a little bit hot. And some of my guys were talking about wanting to go long some things. I think the dollar is a little low as well. So I'm getting a couple funky signals in the market. I've been watching the dollar index. This is the DXY, or it's a basket of currency. It's not really the dollar, but DXY is a ticker that watches a basket of currencies. This is at pretty much critical support. Here now it's starting to bounce a little bit. So I think that the precious metal market might need to take a bit of a breather here, at least go sideways, if not down slightly. And then existing home sales. So that's as more trade deals come in, it looks like for now that the precious metals are getting hit a little bit. Existing home sales falls to a 9-month low. This one, for the current market, home builders in general, your Home Depots, your Restoration Hardwares, overall, who were the first two home builders that reported about 2 weeks ago, Evan? It was like D.R. Horton and somebody. Yeah. Was it KB Homes?
Yeah, I don't remember KB Homes. I'll look on. I don't think Toll Brothers went, so could be KBH. I don't remember.
EHR.
Yeah, they went on June 23rd. Nope. That feels like a while ago.
There were two home builders that reported, and they shot up like massive, and they kind of lit this fire under all the home builders. And then seeing existing home sales fall to 9-month low, I think this in general is kind of like the bottoming. In terms of the home builders as a cohort within the market.
It was Pulte was the other one.
Pulte, there you go. Oh yeah, and PHM is the ticker. And then Trump meeting with Pulte to talk about, what was it? Possibly no capital gains on home sales. Like, that to me is wild. Lennar, thank you, Patrick.
Wild Carl has a different type of home builder.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. AMD is at my maximum target, so target acquired here. That trade is
right. It's at the top of that gap, right?
Yeah, trade is done today. So the home builders here, I think this is my point. So we have a huge macro this week, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. I think in general the market is pretty high. We'll see if it can continue higher. But if you're looking for, let's say, deep value that has a possible turnaround story going on, at the absolute lows, existing home sales falling to 9-month low, but home builders reporting and starting to turn the corner here from a chart perspective. That's probably the most interesting sector to me, at least from a deep value perspective, that could be starting to turn the corner. And that started about, let's say, early last week. And we're starting to see them get a little bit of a follow through here today. We'll see if it holds. Some of these value trades, they're kind of shaky, like choppy. So some, one day looks good and then boom, they pull back pretty heavily the following day. With FOMC coming this week, I don't think that nobody's expecting a rate cut to come in. We'll go through some of the macro also. But what's true is we're not going to have another FOMC next month. So that brings us to October, November. And we have about a 40% probability priced in that we will have some kind of rate cut after this, sometime in the next 2 FOMC meetings, which means that after this week, we're that much closer to some kind of cutting cycle. And so as we get closer to the cutting cycle, I think with home sales being at the absolute lows, possibly Trump talking about, maybe, I don't know that he's going to do it. No capital gains on home sales. Listen, it's more like buy the rumor, sell the news. It's the rumor right now. Does it actually happen? Who knows? But the rumor and the possible buildup off of the absolute lows with the worst being priced in. Listen, the worst is priced in. Stocks make the biggest moves when they go from absolute shit to just okay. And I think that is where this cohort of stocks is probably moving away from. So going from absolute crap to maybe they're just okay, they could be making the biggest move probably right about now.
Kind of an adjacent theme in there. That open door move was obviously a little bit in there. I didn't want to play that one. And I was starting to look around on like that lowering interest rates theme. And we've talked a little bit about RKT, Rocket.
Yeah.
It's pulled back since we've talked about it in the
Rocket
past.
right here now is probably at a better spot than it was. And we can go over the chart in a little bit. I did look at that earlier today. But I would say like right here now is definitely a better spot than it was at 16 or so. Last other one from a data perspective, jobless claims fall for the 6 weeks. So jobless claims fall for the 6th week. Jay Powell is talking about like watching the Labor Department. So when we talk about FOMC coming this week and some of the data that's to come, they've already made up their mind of what they're going to do. But then moving forward after this week's FOMC, we're going to get PCE, we're going to get GDP, we're going to get non-farm payrolls. It's all going to be boom, 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 back to back to back. So today, tomorrow are basically your last days to clean up house, clean shop, clean house, if you will. You're going to get a reprieve today and tomorrow. You're going to have 1,000 earnings in between all of this, by the way. And then Wednesday, we're going to kick it off pretty hot and heavy with the macro. And it's just going to be nonstop throughout the week after Wednesday. So whatever happens on FOMC, and we'll go through the calendar today, but I'll just say between now and tomorrow, this is probably the last 36 hours that you have to clean up your portfolio before we get into like some really hairy data. But that said, from a seasonal perspective, I was trying to look through it. We're really here. So this is a 4-year cycle, seasonal cycle using a 4-year presidential seasonal cycle. And yeah, also tying in the regular season. So we are here, literally right here. So this is just end of July coming into August. Everybody knows September is ass. It's absolute crap. We are here. Usually, like I said, usually August, it can be up, it can be down, it can be sideways. This is a little bit different because we have this trade war dynamic. As you're seeing right now, every time that we have some kind of trade deal, the markets are still going up, and there's still the possibility of more trade deals to come. So because of that, as long as there's still trade deals that can happen, who do we have left, Evan? Who can we make trade deals with?
South Korea, Canada, Mexico, India. There's a couple large-scale ones that haven't really gone down that route yet.
Yeah, so as long as we still have
China.
Those that can happen, we can still push a little bit higher. It's like when we run out of those, that's when I would probably get a little bit more worried. In terms of earnings, this is just really quick. So like I said, we literally have 1,000 companies reporting this week. I tracked the Dow 30. So the top 30 companies in the US stock market, JP Morgan. So everybody has actually beaten so far. When I say beaten, I'm talking about their estimates. The only one to miss so far has been Dow, which was pretty dire. Even if they beat that's supposed to be Honeywell. Honeywell like down 5%, IBM down 5%. If they beat, doesn't mean that the stock's going to go up. That has nothing to do with anything like that. Connor, do we have China? Yeah, possibly. And like I was saying, this is the calendar so far, and then we'll jump into Evan's catalyst watch here. But today, nothing really. This is pretty much done. Tomorrow, we do have JOLTS, consumer confidence, and then we hit it pretty hard from a macro perspective, GDP, FOMC, followed by PCE, jobless claims, and then boom, right into non-farm payroll. So after tomorrow, even tomorrow, it's going to get a little bit shaky, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's just nonstop. And for whatever he says on FOMC day, here's the thing. They're going to front run some whatever based on GDP. Like if we get GDP that comes in hot, I don't know. If GDP is hot, then it's still going to be like, look, the likelihood of a rate cut in the very next FOMC, which is not August, it's October, or September.
Yeah, because I believe we have the what's it called? What's that event? Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole will be in between. So this meeting, Jackson Hole meeting. So there's a month.
Bingo. Yeah. So Jackson Hole Symposium. That's actually that's a pivot for the market. That's in September. So Jackson Hole is a pretty big pivot for the market. I forgot about that one. It's not FOMC, but it may as well be. But if GDP is still running hot, and it's not like it's one of the Fed's primary charters, but we all know, hey, look, if GDP is running hot, then it's not super likely that the Fed's going to lower rates. But it's mostly jobless claims, right? So Jay Powell has been talking, and whoever the new Fed chair comes in with, that's going to change things up a lot. I mean, it's kind of all up in the air, but it's mostly labor market, and spending, right? So PCE is consumers' expenditures, how much we're spending, and then jobless claims is the labor market. So these two things, primarily, that's what's going to be important, which is going to come in post-FOMC. So as we move forward, it's mostly going to be PCE, jobless claims that do make the moves on in terms of FOMC. This is just a screenshot of the populars on Earnings Hub. This is a lot, man. So I'm just going to move forward with this. Let's go ahead and pull Evan's screenshot up here. Evan, I wish you could share. Can you share?
Yes,
and walk through yours?
Yeah.
It might be easier to do it that way.
Share screen, window, blah, blah, blah. You just might have to approve it. There we go.
There it is. Now,
what do you think of the photo choice?
I like it.
I like it too, him looking over it.
What did you think about that tour he was giving?
Oh, it was hilarious. Starting out is like, it was the scenes from The Office, him looking at the paper and like shaking his head. It was hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Zoom in a little bit more so we can see it.
I started with the earnings calendar. When you kind of go like this, it looks a little better. Nothing really today after the close. Tuesday, we started to get a little bit more interesting. We can actually pull up the earnings hub. That is SOFI. And then if you look at it like this on here and then zoom in, I kind of like this one for the expectations. Maybe even one more. So this is Tuesday morning, SOFI, PayPal, Spotify, UNH, Procter & Gamble, Boeing, UPS. Just vaguely what Wall Street is expecting.
Yeah.
That's going to be quite busy. The other one that a lot of people, when Tuesday after the close, Starbucks, Visa, I don't know if there's as much there. Here too, Altria, Vertiv, GE Healthcare. I'm really watching this GE Healthcare, just the general GE breakup. Not in closely for that one, but I'm a fan of one of the reasons I like Honeywell is I am playing for that breakup. GE has been the best example of that. And you would really not want to see GE Healthcare start to turn around and struggle, GE Vernova turn around and struggle for that kind of Honeywell thesis. So
here's what I'll tell you about. Here's what I'll tell you about this. Between the three groups within GE Healthcare was always the piece that held GE pre-split back. So GE Healthcare, I'll be honest, very quickly sold from yours truly. GE Vernova purchased more, and GE Aerospace was so what I wanted to keep, GE Vernova and GE Aerospace. But GE Healthcare, that was always like the thorn in GE's side. That was keeping them like that was the piece that was kind of like holding them back.
That makes sense. Okay, so maybe this is less important than the other ones I want to keep on. And honestly, as we should dig into Honeywell maybe at some point later this year, and because I'm sure there will be some one segment we like more than the others, one segment we hate, something like that. But yeah, I am lightly keeping an eye on that. But obviously, Wednesday and Thursday after the close are the big dogs here. Microsoft, Meta, but also Robinhood, Qualcomm, ARM Holdings on Wednesday after the close. Thursday after the close, Apple and Amazon. But then again, Coinbase, MicroStrategy, Cloudflare, Reddit, for Solar, Roku, Rocket Company.
Speaking of Amazon,
a lot of names there.
I saw your post. I saw your post that Bezos is done selling now.
Bezos is done with his 25 million share sale. So if he wanted to sell more, he would have to do another registration statement.
Interesting how that guy gets it all out right before earnings.
Yeah. And I would have thought
there would have been sassy, like a blackout. Dude, not gonna lie.
There have been like a blackout period or something?
What's that?
Wouldn't there have been like a blackout window or something before earnings where you're not allowed to sell? I don't know.
I mean, he put that out there a long time ahead, but he's not really part of. I mean, he's on the board, right?
Yeah, that's fair. I actually don't even know, but I'm sure he is. So this is some of what you're expecting for that one, and then here was Thursday after the close as well. Apple, Coinbase, Amazon, MicroStrategy, Reddit. We can dig in a little deeper on each of those ones. What else? So that was a lot of the earnings, and there's a lot more. And we'll come back to this one.
Over Robinhood. I mean, how do you do that? I don't.
I have also stuff on Robinhood. I talked a second about Robinhood there. Vlad Tenev will be talking, but when you're on a day with Microsoft and Meta, I'm sure I don't know how FinTwist.
Dude, I don't even know those companies. Microsoft, Meta. All I know is Robinhood, and then there's Robinhood.
Carvana too.
Okay. Carvana, and then there's Apple.
We'll come back to all these in a second, but you were talking about this. This is the macro calendar for the week. Market Watch put this out.
Oh god, this thing is really,
and it's packed. Like here's Monday, Tuesday, couple stuff there, but nothing we're really watching. And then when we get over to Wednesday, you have GDP in the morning, and then you have Jerome Powell speaking. Okay, yeah, let's go there.
Yeah, there you go. So, I didn't even put on the calendar.
Forecast.
We have ADP.
This is previous.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Too.
Do you think ADP is going to move us that much?
So ADP does move us, but it doesn't necessarily stick, right? So ADP is like the precursor, but again, it doesn't always stick. It can, but it's oftentimes wrong. Sometimes it just gets reversed. Like it'll move the market, but it can get immediately reversed when the real NFP comes out. But in between GDP and everything else, in between ADP and non-farm payrolls this time, we have so much stuff in between. So it's like this week is just, like I said, it's going to be such a roller coaster after tomorrow. I'm just like, oh my God, I don't even know what to expect right now because I have an idea of what to expect, which is just absolute insanity, quite frankly. But yeah, it's gonna be. All I can say is I am expecting a wild ride. Is it a good wild ride?
Who knows?
Yeah,
feels like you wish this wild ride was like a month ago, and then that would have been a really fun week. But this one feels interesting. Point. GDP though, this is the initial reading for Q2 GDP.
Yeah, check.
I actually haven't.
So that's a huge bump, right? 2.3%.
This is what's expected, and this is what we came in at the end of last one.
Right. So so here's the thing: we're gonna go from negative 0.5% last one to a positive 2. That's a massive jump. So, and I think a lot of this is earnings expectations too. So. But that's like what's keeping this market afloat. We're literally coming off of a negative 0.5%. And again, this is the first look, I believe. Is it the first look? Q2 first look, but and it's just a forecast, but we're going from negative 0.5% negative to a positive 2.3% expectations in the midst of trade war shenanigans and everything like that. So it can be crazy.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm curious to see, because we kind of know where this GDP is going to come in at, how much the market is paying attention to it. Like, you get that GDP print in the morning. All right, we have Jerome Powell speaking later in the day.
Yeah.
So, like, are these two ones just going to be forgotten really quickly? Maybe.
Well, you know, friends don't let friends make.
And then also think about this. Here we have Meta, Microsoft, and the biggest earnings of them all, Robinhood. Like, there's on this
exactly
so much more there too, you know? So yeah. And then we get to this Jerome Powell press conference, 2 p.m. Eastern. Everyone that all the things you're saying, like 95%, that 99, whatever, that they're not going to cut. They're not going to cut. There is also no summary of economic projections coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern. So basically what that's telling you is
no dot plot.
Nothing, no dot plot. Nothing big happens at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's 2:30. Any move we get there, unless there's some extenuating circumstances in the release, maybe they say, hey, we're going to cut next meeting, which they're not going to say. I would really expect any move at 2 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday to be fake, and 2:30 is when that one's going to happen. The general Jerome Powell press conference play has been up a little bit in the start. About 15 to 30 minutes in, something he says spooks the market and we move lower. Now, the past doesn't equal the future, but that's kind of been a little bit of a theme. Thursday morning. I know this looks like a lot. Really, PCE is what we're looking at here. PCE is going to be the big one. Initial jobless claims, weekly frequency jobs data is never going to be as good as monthly frequency job data. So obviously this is telling you a different time frame, but I default more to the monthly numbers, and I think the market does as well. But PCE on the morning of Thursday is the big one that we're going to be watching. Allegedly, the Fed's preferred inflation index. Jerome Powell will probably have this number at this press conference. So I was thinking, like, there's a chance that someone asks him about it and it kind of tips the cap to what this might be. But we shall see.
We shall see.
And then Friday, this is where the paper gains makes his money. This is the paper gains day. NFP, Happy Non-Farm Payroll Friday. U.S. employment report. This is the big one the market watches. Also the unemployment rate. There's a lot of other things, hourly wages, participation rate, etc. This is the what I think is the market's kind of what they focus the most as far as jobs. So Friday morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, jobs data. Also on Friday, by the way, we have Michigan consumer sentiment. This is the final reading of that one. Still can move markets, but 10 a.m. Eastern. And then we get to chill off. And you thought go and have a relaxing weekend? No. Remember what August 1st is, by the way. That is the Trump. Yeah, kind of. That is the Trump deadline day, August 1st.
Oh, so crap.
That's like, you add all that onto this, and then you get deadline day. The only other real thing in here that I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting. We have some of the earnings calls, Court of Appeals. This one was a little bit interesting, although I don't think it will lead into anything Thursday. The U.S. Federal, the U.S. Federal Circuit Court of Appeals will hold hearings on the Court of International Trade's ruling on International Economic Emergency Powers Act tariffs. If you guys remember a couple months ago, there was people trying to say, hey, Trump can't do these tariffs. And that conversation went away for a while. That's a little bit on that one, although it probably won't lead to anything. And then the other thing that I'm watching that came up a little bit today, but is coming up tomorrow as well on here, is this one right here. All day, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is scheduled to meet with the Chinese counterparts in Stockholm for further trade talks, and that is ongoing right now. There's a story that they might delay or renew the 90-day pause for another 90 days. That came out this weekend, but this is something that we are also keeping an eye on, and that was a lot from this Catalyst Watch here. Target officially ends its price matching program, if we care about that. Yeah, that is most of what that was on my macro calendar for the week. All the P's, we got NFP, PCE, GDP, Powell,
June,
and then
in consumer survey last month. Oh God.
Here, let me stop sharing my screen. We can get it back to you.
Was there anything else?
There was one other really, really important thing, actually. I want everybody in the stream, wherever you're watching, just give the video a like. If you've enjoyed it, if you're still in here, it helps it. Also, you can subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to Paper's channel and you want to see more of this.
I never remember to say that.
Subscribe to the channel. Give the live stream a like if you enjoy this. We appreciate you. And honestly, if this gets to 50 likes, we are doing a second live stream every single week. Paper didn't even know that was happening.
Wow, dude. Wow. Way to put me on blast like that. Can't believe this guy. All right. Well, with that said, I think we can do this. It is now time. So we know it's going to be a hard week. We're going to need a little extra help. We're going to check in with our good friend, Miss Cleo. So it's time for your favorite portion of the show. Let's go. All righty, boys and girls. This is where we get to it. This is the good stuff. I'll make it 50 accounts right now. Jacob, hilarious. All right. So this is, what is this? Miss Cleo. We get a reading, a tarot reading, once a week. The way this works is we get a theme card for the week. Not really sure what's going on here. Yeah. No.
Looks like our village just got pillaged and we're tied up, about to get killed.
You know what? I'm not really sure. So what I can say, though, is that this definitely looks a lot better than last week. I think. I
got to say, that Friday one, Knight of Swords, August 1st, deadline day, it looks like we are going into battle and ready to fuck shit up. And I feel like we're going to... I'm so sorry. I will not do that again.
No.
It looks like we're about to win. No curse.
It looks like we're getting ready to go to battle, though. That's for sure. And I mean, I'm not really sure what to think about this top card, though. This theme card, like, what is this? This is like, I don't know. This is 8 of Swords, but somebody's tied up here at the gate of Swords. What is this? Water at your feet. Maybe like someone's captured our friend, and so we're going to go get them. And so like we go see the priestess. What's the Hierophant? Hierophant, what does that even mean? I'm so dumb. I don't even know what this means. Hierophant. Maybe we go see the priest, and then we go get some gold, and then we stock up on our battle gear, and then we get some fuel. And then we go march out to battle, dude. That's literally what that looks like, to go get our friend. Yeah, no, I got nothing here. So let's read this here. Because, yeah. So anyways, this is all fun and games. It's funny, not funny. Sometimes she's legit. Sometimes not so much. Who knows? So the theme card is the 8 of Swords. I'm just going to read this. This is not one of Miss Cleo's favorite cards. Especially when drawn as a theme card. It implies that we're trapped. I think that's pretty much what we called, right? Trapped, blind. Oh, there's the water. And feeling the water rushing at our feet. Does that apply to the Bulls or does it apply to the Bears? We don't know. Interestingly, this comes after a 10 from the same suit. The Final Death. Going back, Final Death going backwards could bring about mean reversion. However, the last time we drew this card after a 10, the week repeated almost exactly. Obviously, that's not very helpful. Obviously, Miss Cleo, that is not very helpful, but you shouldn't be surprised if the market keeps free floating higher. So basically what? Basically, she has no idea either. Is that what that's kind of what I'm getting. Did anybody get anything from that? I don't know. Let's see what the daily cards have to say. The Hierophant. This card brings structure and keeps the hijinks to a minimum. Look for a day somewhere in between negative chop and bull. What? This card brings structure and keeps the hijinks to a minimum. Look for a day somewhere in between negative chop and bullish trend. Chop is the most likely outcome, especially with the theme card warning us of discomfort. I would not chase momentum. I got a little chop today. That's true. Tomorrow, 9 of Pentacles. This card signals opulence and success. Oh! All right. Okay. I like this better. Tomorrow signals opulence and success. What was that? That was the gold. That was the gold card. Okay. Which implies a bullish bias. History says this is true. What history? What is she talking about? Okay, so historically that's true. The only danger is if Monday brings a negative trend day. Well, it's choppy. In that case, red continuation is most like. Wait, where are we at? On SPY. We gapped up. Nah, dude, we're kind of negative right now. I mean, are we? Not really. Kind of negative. We're under the gap. In that case, red continuation. See, this is how she does it. She leaves it open. I don't know. You know, Tesla's having a good day. Finally over the 50-day. Interestingly. The 9 is low energy and favors chop. Okay, Miss Cleo, if you're out there, listen, I'm getting very mixed signals. I'm getting opulence and success. Then I'm getting bullish bias. Then I'm getting negative trend day. And then I'm getting favors chop. What are you trying to say? Then I'm getting low energy. A trend is less. All right, she's just about to get a freaking demotion right now. Wednesday, 5 of Swords. This card has appeared often as of late. So, oh Jesus, what did she just do on Tuesday? This card has appeared often as of late. So you should know how to read it. A trap. Oh, I hate trappy. This card has appeared often as of late. So you should know how to read it. A trap is set. A trap setup Wednesday is likely. What happens Wednesday? So Wednesday is FOMC. We know that's trappy day. Oh, guaranteed trappy day. We will walk through how to trade FOMC. Evan, are you familiar with how to trade FOMC? Because if you guys aren't, I will walk through exactly how to do it because that is a trap day. And the losing side will be punished for the duration of the session. 9 to 5 also suggests mean reversion. This card's history agrees. Okay. Look for a retrace that may develop into a trend. At least this one's a little bit more clear. Thank you, Miss Cleo. Thursday is temperance. Like the Hierophant. Am I saying this right? Hierophant. This card also favors balance and logic. Negative chop is the most likely outcome. Negative chop. Who reports Thursday?
Apple, Amazon, all after close. MasterCard was in the morning.
I don't want to say this, but I'm kind of feeling like if Google did well, Amazon does not. Did you know that? That's like a trend. I hate to say it. I know I like Amazon better, but it's gone pretty far. And Jeffrey, that was sus. So, like the Hierophant, this card also favors balance and logic. Negative chop is the most likely outcome, except in the event that Wednesday is a bearish trend day. Here we go again. If Wednesday's bearish, then no chop Thursday. That could set up a reversal with similar momentum. Turnaround Thursday? I don't know. This is the chop, though. This is not a day to go deep on calls or puts. That doesn't mean it can't trend, but it's rare. And Thursday is going to be unpredictable. Well, then. Thank you, Miss Dude. She's just calling sideways for the week. That's all I'm saying. Friday, the Knight of Swords. This card is capable of bringing some really big energy, especially at the start of the session. All right, so this is a big day. Non-farm payroll day. Let's see. This is all right. Don't fail me now, Miss Cleo. His history is mixed. God damn it. One literally like 3-4 words in. It's mostly trend with a 20% chance of chop. All right, 80-20. However, continuation has a 90% chance. How do you get 80-20 and then 90? However, continuation has a 90% chance of hitting when following a major arcana card. Are we following major arcana? Temperance, yes. So I'm hoping we can take that to the bank. Okay. On days where he runs hard early, there's a chance of regression and a flat close. However, if that regression fails, it's a sign to chase trend. All right. One personal note on Friday is that you need to show up to trade. It's not about Friday's trading session at all. If you know me and you know about NFP days, the sad truth is sometimes it's the last good trading day that we see for weeks, possibly close to a month. Sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes. Anyways, recap. Like crypto, there's a high chance of a trend, but a higher chance of mean reversion throughout the week. There should be plenty for everyone. Basically, she don't know what's going on. That's all I can tell you. Miss Cleo's off the hook. That's what's true. She's all over the place, man. Oh, my goodness. I think this is chop. Thank you, Miss Cleo, for your input. But, you know, it is what it is. Go ahead and drop your tickers now if you'd like. Walter. Or messing with, yeah, I don't know. That you know, we do this tarot card reading. Here's my starting point. Every day I come in, I have to have a couple key pivots. So at the index level, we start SPY, QQQ, Diamonds, IWM, Dixie right now, bottom left. You can do like USO is fine, or like crude. Crude probably not horrible to use. Bitcoin and maybe the VIX down here. So VIX has been hitting here. It's this dollar one that I will visit in a little bit. We talked about the EU trade deal earlier over the weekend, that we did get 15% on exports versus 30% threat, which was good. That gave us a little bit of a gap up this morning. Here's where we are. So on SPY, what I'm going to do, and I do use after hour sessions. Here's the consolidation that we're just coming out of. This is an NFP day. And what I mean by sometimes it's the last good trading session that we get for months. This is a single session, a big fat range. And sometimes you can go sideways for quite a while. As you can see, this last non-farm payroll day, this was 2 weeks of sideways chop until we finally were able to break out of this range. And we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4. This is day 5 in the trend. But unfortunately, today's gap, we are now reversing that gap. So we are coming back down at the moment. Do we stay down? We're going to have to get back over Friday's high if we're going to reverse this at any point this week. So for now, this is coming down. That's what I can say. The last point of control here, this is 635. where we just based from. So this would be right about here, 625. No, 635. Right here. Technically, if we're going to just do a basic pullback, this is Friday's session. About halfway of Friday's range is going to be 636.05. If we did a basic pullback, 636.05, we've already filled the overnight session gap. That's what we just rejected off right now. Right here. So the halfway point of Friday's session is going to be right here, 636, which we got pretty close to filling anyways. And it actually looks like there's a little bit of a, we might have got some news in the middle of the day on Friday. Looks like there's some kind of inefficiency there. But that's all I would expect from here. It's not anything crazy. It just kind of is what it is. That's at the index level. If I took this, so last week's low is going to actually put us right at the top of that NFP level, 626.27. If for whatever reason, at any point, we get a retest of 626.27, that's as deep as I would ever want to see this. That's probably going to line up to a 20-day simple moving average, like right around here. Anything below 626 spot 27 on SPY is not long anymore. Anything below that, a retest of this is fine, but it cannot breach below. Like you can't have a daily open, or you can't have a daily close and open below that. If you have a full day's session below that level, we are just going down, and you have to exit stage left on the longs. But if you have a daily touch on it, that's fine. This is like if you have if you're coming down, that's fine. If you have a daily touch on it, that's okay. You would want the next day to open higher, and then we can resume trend back to the upside. That would be best case scenario from a retest perspective. Until then, this little box right here, 635 is down at the 636 area, is really the lowest that I would like to see this go, at least for now, but it kind of looks like what it's doing. In the meantime, I think this is really just a chop setup. That's SPY. QQQ, not nearly as bad. So QQQ has not reversed the gap. So we have an opening upside gap here on Qs. It's not like SPY. So Qs is actually held, which makes sense because we have a lot of the Mag 7 reporting this week. So it's a lot stronger right now than SPY. And we've had this divergence for the last few weeks where the Qs has actually been doing a little bit better than the broader index, so better than SPY. So as long as the Qs are holding up better, then SPY will actually have a little bit more of a base. So really, if Qs can hold over Friday's high, that's definitely ideal. And in that case, I don't think SPY will actually break down. It's going to come down to earnings in that case. In terms of a retest, similar to SPY on Qs, it's 557.59. Let me just go upside really quick back to SPY. So upside weekly range, SPY is going to be 655. Upside weekly range on Qs, 585. This is a full weekly range in both directions. So max upside, 585, max downside, 550 for Qs. You probably can't see it because it's too small, but max upside, SPY, 655, maximum downside, SPY, 620, which would be that prior month low, right about 619. Diamond's getting a little bit weaker at the moment. IWM definitely retracing a bit here. VIX starting to curl. Not that that matters a whole lot. And this is the one that's mostly what I'm looking at. So this is that dollar index. This is 96.79. I'm just going to zoom. I got to zoom this out to like a monthly. So this is the major pivot right here. 96. This is like center line. Every time we've gotten here at the dollar, for the dollar, we've tended to bounce. So seeing this, a weak dollar near term is pretty bullish for stocks. So when the dollar bounces this fast, like this, it makes sense for equities to pull back a little bit. It makes sense for your precious metals to pull back a little bit. Does this continue higher? Probably not too much, but it's possible we get another little bit. I want to see the dollar kind of like chill. It can either be about here or here. If it goes sideways, that's even better. But this is a bit of a violent bounce on the dollar index right now. Kind of filling a bit of a gap. So if it can stop somewhere right around 98, this is a pretty strong bounce. It's going to head into resistance right now. So if I can see a little bit of stalling action on the dollar, that would give me a bit of a better sense that, okay, maybe equities can bottom a bit and maybe even precious metals. But again, with the dollar this low, it's still a little like, I'd rather have a little bit more cash and picking up on some of those sectors that I was talking about earlier. So maybe like the home builders, things that have been a bit more de-risked and have maybe not a lot of good news priced into them with some actual upside to come, where sentiment's just now starting to turn the corner. That might be a little bit more ideal. Maybe even some software areas. All right. So I'm going to check the chats here. I'm going to start at, so I'm going to go Google from Gatekeeper. That's going to be the last one that I check, but I'm going to scroll all the way up and then we'll end at Google from Gatekeeper. So I'm going to check on Forbes. So GLD. So gold it actually hasn't broken an uptrend. I'm just going to go on a daily real quick. So right now gold, so this is, it's not bad, right? So gold at its core, really, it's just gone sideways. Today it did break that 50-day simple. It's just gotten under the 20-day simple. It hasn't really broken out of this consolidation. Yeah, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 shots here. If you want to take a shot at this, you just got to wait. I wouldn't even like short it. I would just watch these for a bit. Like this could come down still. And I would really, what I would do is I would throw on like this. So this yellow line right here, what is this? It's going to be like your monthly low from this guy. So this is going to be about 300. I could easily see gold maybe even wicking around 300. If it gets close to this 300 area and then maybe it comes back like that. Here's another view. So you're at the bottom. It's still like possibly that bull flag of some sort. I'd want to see it like possibly come back down. But if it starts to reclaim and locks in a higher low like this, at that point, I actually would go long if it turns out to look like a bit of a failed breakdown. So if it starts to break down, then all of a sudden, like at the last second, it gets saved. Cool. I would actually go long gold. A short would actually, I'd have to wait for more of a breakdown. It would have to look like this. So I don't want to short gold down here, But my point is, I would wait for this to fully break down below 300 before I would be interested in actually taking some kind of real trade below 300. Otherwise, I don't want to play up here. Its trade location is kind of a funky one where I could get my face ripped off in either way, since it is still firmly in that consolidation. We were talking Pulte Lennar. That's so AMD. Yeah, AMD. This trade is over. You're very close to earnings right now, and your targets are fully acquired. If you're trying to press this bet, you're riding luck at this point. It's just not. I mean, you can, but just know that that's firmly target acquired. Like all targets have been acquired. I would need a brand new trade setup, and with earnings coming in here now in a couple days, this is very hot coming into earnings. I mean, great trade from $100. Just know that this is up literally 70% on equity from my trade. This is asking a lot. This is asking a lot in this coming earnings report. I don't know what to say other than that. I don't like this setup here now, but it's very overstretched. From a technical perspective alone, all targets have been acquired. I mean, it's overdone with it's just target acquired. And the only thing you can do is, like, if you want to throw some profit at something crazy, have at it. But if it goes to zero, you wouldn't really care because you've probably made more than enough on the run up here. But just don't be adding money to this. That's all I can say. But yeah, you should. Congrats for sure. Yeah. My favorite SMCI. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. $60. Yeah, target acquired. Boom, there it is. Out of the gate. There, that was target. She done did it. Not healthcare? No. Sentiment. So sentiment has to be there. The healthcare sentiment is definitely not there. SOUN. Software is interesting for sure. Software does have the sentiment. Sentiment is not at TLT yet. Maybe 125 is a lot for TLT. No. Unless you're talking like, no. TLT, that's never going to happen. I don't even think options go out that far. I would need like 2040. Jan 2027, no. The absolute most that you could expect to get on TLT is going to be like 97 by the end of 2020, by January 2027. But honestly, on TLT. FOMC SOFI. Yeah. CRWV. Did they do an offer? They did something. Yeah, I've been wanting to short this thing, but like it's just been kind of choppy. It did it, but it's a slower move down lately. But this has lost all key. Maybe it gets some momentum later. But I think it's gone a little bit too far at this point. Stop loss for CL, none. No, I mean I no stop loss for CELH. If you want a stop loss, then you should probably close it because that'll go through earnings. It's just triggering right now. CELH is over 47.30. Here's this guy. So you're over the 20, over the 50, over all of this. And come on, update. Update. $47.25. I'm just gonna write it this white line. Right about here is gonna be this pivot from this earnings over here. If it can hold over this guy, then you should see at least a press into the 60. It's gonna have earnings in a couple weeks. So that aside, just from this little consolidation, it can at least try to get to 50, at which point I would trim any Celsius calls ahead of earnings. But that's what I would see for Celsius. Yeah, PayPal actually had crypto release. Ooh, but they have earnings. Can't do that. Palantir. I don't know. Palantir's got earnings coming too. He's a little profit taking.
Palantir had a news headline, something around the DOJ. It was an article about Microsoft and AI making it easier for companies to switch. And then within that article, it said the DoD was trying to replace Palantir's AI efforts or like reduce their importance on them, like doing their own in-house AI. I don't know. It didn't feel like that meaningful of a headline, but
that's a headline. It stopped right at Thursday's high or that weekly pivot. Friday's low. It's an interesting headline for sure. Hoodie pop. Dude, hoodie. I'm nervous, dude. But whatever. I'm not even gonna look at it. Not even gonna look. I don't know what to do. Close my eyes. Just gonna close my eyes. Oh, Dell. And my Arista, my God. What do I think? Oh, yeah. I already did that. Let's see. CRM. Get out of here. CRM is tough. So I like CRM. It's going to try and get out of this little box. It's in between the 50 and 20-day simple moving average. I have to play this day to day right now. So the 50-day right now, it's right on it. That's this blue line. literally right on it. This can get choppy and it's also on an old NFP level. Not that that really matters a whole lot. That's 269.25. If it can get through, it needs to really clear 271. It has cleared it. In today's pre-market high, 270. There's a little bit of a fair value. I'd really like to see it over 276. There's a fair value gap right around 274. It's just there's a lot of traffic areas in here. CRM does not report till towards the end of the month. I just know that here and now I feel like it's gonna get a little choppy. This one, oh my God, Arista. This thing's gonna try and go for 275 or 125 right now. Fuck. Sorry. Look, I'm gonna give this a bit. If it can get through 271, it's all good. What I don't want to see CRM do is get below really like 265. If I have like too many tests of 265, then I'm gonna have to restart. Meaning like I'll close and reopen later. Because I have short dated stuff on right now, which has been good, but it's been choppy. I already moved some stuff out to the end of August, which I think is going to be better because this has been decent. Like this has been a decent run, but it's not been like it's been slow grind. Like it's been a slow channel up, and the chop has been it's been choppy. So I think I need either a little bit more time or really just debit spreads. It's been okay, but now it needs to get its shit together, or I need to change the way that I'm trading it from an options perspective, because now it needs to get its shit together, or else I'm going to run into delta decay from an options perspective. But here now, this is where it needs to step on the gas. It's a big pivot. It's a big pivot here. So I'll give it a little bit, but I don't want to see it taking too long or going too low. Too long is going to be just as painful as going too low. It won't matter either way. Okay. Devin. Grab's not one that like you really need to do anything on. Yeah, do nothing here. Nothing to do. Opinions on CMG. I think CMG you gotta wait. Yeah, definitely wait still. Too early to no, don't touch it. 3-day rule at minimum. SMCI target acquired. Hoodie, dude, hoodie. I mean, hoodie's going for 110 again, dude. Thing is, it has to break this. If it gets to 113 and stops, then it's just going to go sideways. Or not even 113, 110. The only way you could think that it's going higher is if it's over 114. If it gets over 114, then yes, we see 120. But if it stops at 113, 114, it's over. It's gonna pull back and go sideways again. For now, it's just going back to where it came from. Crazy, but that's what's happening. He's going to try and make it to 110. That's crazy. MRVL is getting out of the weeds. MRVL is looking good. Finally, over the 20-day simple today, it's actually made a nice little base. So MRVL is coming out of the weeds here. So a pretty good little consolidation. This is kind of like CRM, where it took, how long did it take? So MRVL took, this is 18 days. It was stuck in between the 20 and 50-day simple moving average. And this is why, like, CRM, I can't be too short dated on CRM. If CRM pulls a MRVL here, it's not going to be fun. Like, no way, not this short dated. Because I'm in like 815s and a little bit for end of the month. I can't do that on CRM if it goes sideways for that long. Luckily on CRM, it's kind of sketching me out because the SMAs are a little bit flat too now. We'll see. I give it a couple days, but it's very much on edge. I'm very much on edge on this. MRVL here now, this is looking better than CRM because the price action is now over these simple moving averages. These simple moving averages are going to start to change directions, where the 20-day is going to start to curl up. The 50-day is already on an upwards trajectory. So the distance between the 20 and the 50-day are actually going to start to expand. So this is propulsion upside again, repropulsion, as long as that continues. And then with earnings right around the corner, and we're getting a little bit of a squeeze, this looks prime here now. It was a bit squeezy this morning, but this base of like 18 days looks ready to roll back in action. At least we get to my prior target, which was that 85, 83s again, right in the area, that 200-day simple, as long as we can hold over that 72 and change on MRVL, which this looks like today. Again, a little bit of a catch-up setup here, but retesting here, 73, and now starting to get out of that. If I move this up slightly, what was resistance, even this morning, we have a gap up over, holding as support. As long as it's holding that 74.5, happy camper here. We have a easy fair value. I say easy. We have a quick fair value. I actually reloaded this just the other day into that 80 level, if not higher, which was 85. Near term. That's MRVL. Chill. Bull. I don't like bull, man. I don't tell you. I'm not getting anything from it yet. I don't have a setup yet. I don't have a clean setup. It's just like sitting on, but I don't have a trigger yet. I can't see anything here clean today. It's on a level, but it's not getting any interest yet. SMH, the whole sector. Yeah, so this looks like MRVL chart. So semi-sector looks better right now. So I guess maybe you could go back to Qualcomm if these hold. So semis as a sector, gap up and held. Let me just go to weekly. Holding so far over the 20 or the 50, over the all-time high. 240s. Yeah, SMH as a sector looking probably best, probably thanks a lot to AMD. It was wild to see AMD at 173 this morning, though, man. I gotta tell you. This looks like it's gonna try for 300. Yeah, over 290. I don't see how this doesn't try at least for 300. Why Google no respect? This is a very simple answer. Because Google already had their report. Once Google had the report, why would you stay in Google? It's very simple. Do not expect, especially with so many Mag 7s to report still to come, don't expect these things to continue to carry on like you would normally. With 1,000 companies still to report, expect things to pull back. You have way too much upside to still be had to think that a Netflix, a Google, a whoever is going to just continue on. APP or an OKTA. I see that one next. APP. This is such a squeezy name and also spready. I took some stuff down. I took Twilio down. I took Mongo down. I took, I was about to take Workday down. And one reason why I'm like, do I take CRM down is because like there's so many other stocks that are about to report. It's like, why do they stay in CRM right now? I don't know why they stay in CRM right now. Maybe it's more like next week. So like, I don't mind letting that chill. Yeah, I still would wait to like 380. It looks good. But it's very wiki. It's not convincing. This is not a convincing move. The thing like right now, I needed to look absolutely phenomenal. I needed to look absolutely phenomenal for me to take something this week. OKTA, I closed the runners. Well, now I guess you could reopen it here. Yeah, now it's fine. Well, I'm glad I closed the runners, but now I could reopen it right on the 20. That's a reopen. It's already a reopen. Holy crap. Now you're good. Right back to that 96 level. It just got slammed right at the 50-day. That was that area. I don't know that volatility is low enough yet, though. So that was that entry spot. It's probably okay, but it's not going to be really out of the weeds. So OKTA is going to make a big move once it's cleared over 107. So OKTA is going to go like this. It's going to go choo, and then it's gonna make that flag formation. It's gonna like fight at 107, and then maybe something happens where it makes a big move into the 125s. But this whole bounce, you have to expect massive consolidation. It's gonna be like how Dell did the whole time. Biddy, I'm not super interested in Biddy right now. I think it does make that trajectory to 126, but it's just in the chop. In terms of crypto, I think you have three plays. Like you have, so me personally, I think you can get a triple on Avalanche from here. I think you can get a double on Solana from here. I think you can get about 50, 60% on Ethereum from here. And I think you get about 10% on Bitcoin from here. That's the crypto game. This guy, WRD. I don't even know what that is. No, we ride. I'm skipping earnings. SOUN. I'm going to skip. I can't trade SOUN. Short float. I don't trade it. I did see around. Yeah, I like the MRVL setup a lot. Dude, okay. Magda, I love you, bud, but wrong show. Yeah, Dixie breakout is bearish near term for stocks. Apple sense evidence here. Dude, so Apple didn't get it. The move over to 16, 215. I'm not sure it's done. I'm glad I moved my expiration. But I mean, I definitely need to. I was gonna sell 720s against my August monthlies, which at this point I'm gonna have to anyways. I just wanted to see like one last push. Maybe I don't get it. I was getting greedy. Oh well. Maybe we get it. Maybe we don't. We'll have to see what the rest of the day looks like. Fucking Arista, my God. SOFI. What SOFI reports? No can do. Honeywell. Evan, they already reported. So 3-day rule, usually. You got 1, 2, 3. So Honeywell, you got to wait till it's over 230. Over 230. Or you got to wait for the next setup. For now, it's still breathing. Then he gives me ZETA. ZETA. $13. I got nothing on ZETA, brother. I got nothing. Meta is going to report. You don't really do new. No, I don't do. Yeah, Newz just gone sideways forever. I would sell some straddles. Run to 414? I don't know. Tesla's looking good, but I think you sell some. It's still choppy right now. Yeah, no, so like here, he ran into that resistance, 330. Nah, I gotta sell some more right now. Should I need to close those calls? Good call on Tesla because it's about to break down through that 50-day. I had some Tesla swings on, but definitely sell some right now. So right here at that 331. So no, it's not even close to beginning unless you're over that pivot. So the pivot is twofold. So this is just step one. 335 is the bigger pivot. This is just one stop at the kiddie pool. You're not even close to thinking about 440, nothing, until you're out of this box. And that box starts, the top of the box is 370. So no, no, not even close yet. And this consolidation isn't even sort of broken either. So no on all fronts for Tesla. It's not out of consolidation, or even it's not even kind of out of consolidation. It's very much in the shit still. So it's day trade mode, chop mode. I know there's some catalyst, but no, it's not. It's not a big swing by any means. All right, I got a couple. We did MRVL, did Apple, ETH. I don't. I know. I gotta cut this for pretty soon. I don't know what ETHA is. This is some derivative of.
Black. No, that's the direct ETF. That's the BlackRock.
Yeah, well,
ETF.
I'm going to do Ethereum itself. So this was the breakout here. So right now you're getting a little bit of a pullback retest. I think it's okay. Why this is not updating, I don't know. Okay, yeah. So you're just, oh shit.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
$37.29. Friday low. Yeah, you needed to. Ooh. I was kind of worried about this weekend. So this not looking that great. So it really needed to hold over that 38.85. So this looks like we would look for a failed breakdown. This is a failed breakout. So this is a fake out so far. Failed breakout. This cannot get lower than 37s. I mean, it's crypto, so it's super volatile. In the meantime, it's just a fake out breakout, which means that your halfway point is about 36.50, but that's probably where you're going. It's just not breaking out yet. Not time. What you need is like a full day's trading outside of 30, call it 39 at this point. So it's basically just still where it was. It needs more time for the SMAs to catch up. Went a little too far, too fast. You think you're all eyeing MRVL? Yeah, I think so. That would be cool. MSTR leads. So, I mean, crypto can happen earlier. Oh, no. MSTR is probably just going to go sideways for a bit. I don't have a setup on MSTR here. No setup. This is not a setup. He's trying. He got slapped at the 20. It's stuck. CMG, we did. Here's an interesting Pinterest. That's a setup. I thought there would be something. I don't know why I thought there would be something. Oh my God. But earnings, at least it's next week. See, Pinterest is a setup. It's a gap and a hold. Yeah, indexes are coming down right now. 39s. These guys, look at this. Is that a miss and gap up or something? I don't know what happened, but yeah, earnings or revenue beat. Advertising of some sort, I don't know, but it's still running in ahead of this last report. So this is kind of like a theme of some of these like under the radar. Dude, I'm gonna have to do some of these fucking shit. I gotta go adjust some trades here in a little bit because something's getting a little wild right now. Yeah, this looks upside right now. This little consolidation is starting to break. This looks like it's gonna go for 40 ahead of earnings. And it's gonna be a one and done kind of press. I wouldn't really push it a whole lot more than that, but it's a small move. It's tradable. But I think this, is like an overnighter to 40 on that last move ahead of earnings on Pinterest for sure. BTBT, I don't know what BTB is. That another crypto thing? Bit Digital, that's a short. if I've ever seen one. That goes to 265. CoreWeave, probably a short also. This is the one where like I've wanted to short it. After it lost 20, yeah, it's still going short. Yeah, so 120, you lose 120. This thing is going... I wanted $100 puts on CoreWeave. If I want to short something and just like keep shorting it, it's probably this guy right now. Like over and over and over and over and over. It's probably CoreWeave. It's CoreWeave. It's probably the easiest short. As long as it's below 115. It can't get back over 115. If it's back over 115, it's probably a long. And definitely, if it's over 120, it's definitely a long. But as long as it's below, it's going to drop like a fly. How's that? Then you're at like key pivot. This key pivot. So I like this watch. $100 puts. Because if this just goes, it's just like the bottom's going to fall out. What was the downgrade price here to like 35 or something?
CoreWeave? I'll look for you. How long ago was this downgrade?
It's somewhere up here.
This Barclays as they raised it to 140. I don't see it.
I don't see it. Well, if it goes lower, it's going lower. But 115 is monthly. Yeah, prior month low. Right here. So under 115, it can be a short. Here, it would look like that. If this gets over 115, and maybe this is like a tomorrow, it's not a short, which means actually it would be a long. So you got to be open. The first spot would be 120. If it gets over 120, it's a 130. And that, so just to be fair, because I'm a trader, this would be a failed breakdown, and this whole thing would look like a crazy liquidity grab in that instance, which this would be a really good trade. But below, if you get this, this is like almost like what do you call this? A straddle or straddle. So you buy both, probably get paid. I'd be leaning short though, as long as it's underneath. We'll see. Definitely one to watch. You got to watch it either at this pivot or if it makes a new low. Serum is still, it's on the lows. We'll see. Dial back towards the highs. Look at that. Fucking Arista. Crazy. All right. And then the last one is Legoogs. So yeah, I think that it's going to go sideways. I have some January calls on Google's that I had way beyond, like way early, not way early, but like from over here, 200s. What I did was over here, I sold August 200s against the Januaries. I collected $275 to do that. I don't think it gets over 200 by August 15th. So I think this continues to chop around in this box. And I think those expire worthless and I collect $300. But I think that's the range that Google trades in. So can you take it up off of maybe even like just under 190? Sure. But this is the box that Google's going to trade in while the rest of its peers report, for sure. BMNR, is it breaking? I don't know. What are we doing with this BMNR? It's trying to go lower.
Yeah, it was falling down a little earlier.
Yeah, 337. We'll see. All right, guys. That's what I got for today. Evan, appreciate you, man. It's been real.
I appreciate you, Paper. If you guys are in here and you watch that whole thing, you're not subscribed to Paper's channel, with notifications on, there's a bell button next to it.
Awesome.
Goes whenever you
I'm not sure.
live, every Monday only. Watch out, we're going to start a new show. I'm kidding. But yeah, subscribe to Paper's channel. I appreciate you for having me, Paper. I enjoy doing this.
Appreciate you coming on, dude. Getting hungry.
See you next week.
See you next week. Adios. Later, guys. Peace.